Hello and welcome to this channel. If this is your first time here, you are definitely in the right place. My name is Gbpusd and I will be your host. The mission of this channel is quite simple: to equip you with the knowledge, skills, mindsets you need to become an independent thinker and a consistently profitable trader. Whether you're just starting your trading journey or looking to refine your edge, every video is designed to help you think critically, trade intentionally, and grow with confidence. So I'd like for you to like this video so it can reach a lot more people. Drop a comment in this channel, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and share this video, share the link with your friends, with your loved ones. So this is gonna be a very quick video. This is basically me walking you guys through the trader took on Gbpusd on Friday 14th August 2026. All right, definitely you need to pay attention to structure. You see, you can never stand strong on a weak foundation. So your understanding of structure is very, very important. So what are we to pay attention to? Starting off where you need to pay attention to your higher time frames, that is your monthly, weekly, and the daily time frame. So let us see the information we have on our monthly time frame. On the monthly time frame, one thing we definitely can pay attention to, I love to say some things when it comes to building bias, when it comes to storyline, whatever. You need to be able to answer some questions. The question of where's price coming from, where's price currently, and where's price likely headed towards. So paying attention to where's price coming from right now on this monthly time frame, we can see that price is coming from this guy. And if you are to pay attention to this big picture perspective, this is a monthly time frame now. We can say, all right, that price should most likely get into this guy. Ultimately, we can expect price to get into this one but I've always mentioned something about red zones. This is a level that can threaten price from getting to here. So instead of you targeting space first overall, you need to pay attention to this one first. All right, so that is this as regard, where price headed towards on the monthly time frame. So stepping it down right now, we have a monthly that reject of a monthly key level. Why I said price should target is ultimately is the fact that this is an internal liquidity, and price moves from internal to external, from external to internal. So if this internal liquidity has been taken out, definitely we should expect price to take out this one over time. This might not happen, not until say the next 2-3 months, and it can as well happen next week. You just have to pay attention regardless. So that is that for the monthly time frame. So monthly rejected of this monthly key level right here. And on the weekly time frame, of course, weekly give us that confirmation right here. We got that weekly break of structure. All right, monthly reject, monthly a one time frame lower, validates it. So this is the confirmation we need right here. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. This means lower, high, right here got used as structural points. So definitely we have our information right here, and from there we can see our price has been buying ever since. So talking about where's price likely headed. So coming into the chart last week, all I did there was just a background study of what to pay attention to over time. So paying attention to what happened last week on GBP USD, you would realize something. Price gave us a breakout above this one. We got a break above this one, and after this break, something also happened. We can see this guy still standing, so which means this becomes our draw on liquidity where price is likely to target. All right, price broke structure right here. We got a breakout right here, and definitely what are we to expect? Expect price to come back into this level, and from here you can do whatever it is that you want to do. All right, so paying attention to this guy right now. Now we have a weekly that rejected all this weekly break level. All right, weekly rejected of this weekly A level. Now we can see that everything they're like in alignment. Monthly is bullish, weekly is also bullish. Let's also pay attention to what we have on the daily time frame. So the daily time frame is also bullish. Why? Because we have a break right above this guy. We have a break above this one right there. So it makes sense for us to actually pay attention to buying opportunities until this drawn liquidity is achieved, until price gets there. So coming into the chart on Monday, price so we still have this breakout structure. This is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday right there. This is the breakout structure we had from last week. So what do we need to do? You see, price has two core objectives: attack liquidity and to rebalance and hold imbalance. So what do we pay attention to? This is an imbalance right on the daily time frame. Look at this guy. This is a bullish imbalance, which means we expect price to come into this level and then continue buying. That's simple enough. All right, so we expect price to come into this daily imbalance, and then from here you can just look for your confirmation. You see, one thing I love to tell people is this. One thing I love to tell my the guys in our inner circle is this: the fact that let's go back into that weekly time frame now. The fact that we have this guy being a weekly reject weekly, it is not enough reason for you to necessarily want price to come back into this level because this is your daily breakout. No, price. See, the core objective of this guy, of this breakout structure, right? I've always said it to us right here as well. The core objective of this breakout structure is to validate your direction for you, which means price has every reason not to even come back there. And one of the reasons, so which means you just need to pay attention to that levels that price can run from, because now the purpose of this breakout structure is just to define your direction for you. So from here, we have this daily imbalance right here. So which means instead of me paying attention to this breakout level first, I am definitely paying attention to this imbalance first, because it is a daily imbalance, and imbalance are like magnets, fair value gaps. All right, they're like magnets. So from there, going to your lower time frame to just now you're paying attention to bullish order flow. All right, so you're paying attention to bullish order flow from that point. So coming into the H4 time frame, let's see what we have from that level. So from that moment, daily imbalance has been rebalanced. What do we have? H4 gave us a break to the upside. Look at it, simple. H4 time frame gave us a break to the upside. So all you need to do from here, right? All you need to do is just for you to look for your confirmation. All right, so from this H4 bullish structure, right, so let's go into a lower time frame to see what we have. So we have this guy. So going into the H1 time frame, we have this break-off structure, bullish break-off structure. All right, so now we can see monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4 bullish, H1 bullish, 5 time frames all in alignment. So what do we have to do? Just follow the money. All right, all you need to do from there is just for you to follow the money. So what do we do? You can pay attention to this level or this, to this level. Your entry right here and your target right there. And if you also, there's also another confirmation on the H4 time frame, which I did see, but it's triggered around market open. So what is that? Daily daily rebalance and holding balance. And we can also see internal liquidity has also been taken out right there. Internal liquidity, where's the next target? External. All right. So paying attention to this H4 bullish break right here now, we can see that previous H4 logo taken out. Look at it. Previous H4 logo taken out, while the high definitely still standing. What do? You pay attention to the V level that got created from that sweep. This is the V level, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so which means this becomes your entry, and from here you can ride it all into the target. So that is the thought process, and the most important thing about this is that you need to ensure that this is something you can repeat over time. All right, for instance, as beautiful as it is, monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, sometimes it can as well fail, because you need to understand that even it works. It works when it fails. All right, sometimes it fails, but that does not invalidate the thought process. That does not invalidate the whole idea. Sometimes price has a mind of its own, and even if you should revisit the setup that failed in hindsight, you'd find reasons why the setup actually failed. That is one thing about studying. So that is that as regards the GBP USD trade I took last week. I'm also paying attention to Euro USD now. I'm talking about expectations for the week right now. You would realize the same information we have on GU. It is looking like we also have the same information right here. Why? Because now right here we have a breakout structure now to the upside on Euro USD weekly time frame. this is a high to this low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We have a break of structure right here. So possibly does that mean we should pay attention to buying opportunities now on Euro USD for the coming weeks? Um, perhaps, all right, perhaps. So based on this break of structure now, we can possibly expect price to run into this one. But let's try to pay attention to what we have on the daily time frame, because at the end of the day, as much as we have a break right here, we also have this previous side that has been taken out. So let us follow through what we have on the daily time frame to just see. So the daily time frame is also bullish, and then it's as well looks like it is as well still looking like an external has been taken out right there. So which means as much as we will be paying attention to buying opportunities, we also need to be patient for what price would offer. So if I am to pay attention to this guy for possible buying opportunities, I would be waiting here firstly for for bullish order flow confirmation right now. All right, I'll be waiting right here. So this setup would only become invalid when price closes below this one, when we have a when we have a bearish break below this guy right there. All right, when we have a bearish break below this guy. So as much as, those are the levels I'll be paying attention to, and I would also be paying attention to say this guy as well. All right, we've taken out external liquidity now. So internal liquidity might just be next, and this guy might just be the internal liquidity price would come back into. So, I mean, it's not about you being rigid as regard, oh, this is a level price must come back into, this a level price must come back into. No, all right. You would never know. You just have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself. You would never know where price would come back into at the end of the day. You would never know. So I'm trying to wrap up right now. So talking about XAUSD right now. Personally on XAUSD, I would say we are at a point where price can just create for us a new all-time high, because from this break of structure we have on the weekly time frame, anything can just happen from there. From the moment we had this break of structure on the weekly time frame, I just knew that it is about to become interesting, because if we pay attention to last year, the previous year, August 2025 August, let's see. 2025 August, June 2025, sorry. All right, so look at it. August 2025. Can you see how the bull run began from this point? So the same thing can also happen right there. All right, the same thing can also happen right there. We're in August already. The price has given us a reasonable reason. All right, a reason why the buy should happen, especially the fact that we now have a weekly breakout structure. All right, so internal liquidity is also gone. So at the end of the day, even if anything at all, big picture, this guy should go next. All right, talking about the big picture perspective right now, this guy should go next. But talking about, should I say intraday in and out entries right now. So if I am a swinger, I would be interested in, whenever I get a buying opportunity, I'll be interested in targeting this level. But for the intraday guys, this is a level we can target say next week. So the expectation, my expectation on XAUSD is just, now we have an imbalance right here. Imbalance right there from this guy to this one. So what do? We can expect price to possibly come into this guy and continue buying. Also, this can as well happen. So I'm just trying to, share various expectations with us right now. This can also happen where, based on the fact that I believe we are still bullish, all right? Based on that bearish expectation, now we have a bearish break, right? The price can, come into this level. Price can come into this level, or even continue selling from here, whereby price will come here and price will just continue selling into that level, and then we can buy. Also, another thing I can also pay attention to the fact that because, we are bullish already, this low has been taken, this high is still standing. So definitely price has every reason as well to, to pay attention to come into this level and continue buying. So all of this starts from expectation. So your expectation is what you execute. And the fact that you have several expectations does not mean you have to do everything. All you are just paying attention to is that this can happen. All right, you are trying to make room for flexibility. That's why I have showed us, sales can happen on XAU, despite the fact that overall we are bullish. Buys can also happen. So I've shown to us where the possible sales can happen from and where the possible buys can happen from, either from this level for the buys or from the weekly imbalance, which I shared with us as well. Um, so this is gonna be all for now. I'll see you guys on the next one.